Hey there, fellas.
Salutations.
Greetings and welcome to episode 3 of the Night Council. Wow.
Wow.
Deb.
Wow. We made it to 3 episodes. Nice. Nothing terrible happened, and everything seems to be going swimmingly. A couple of announcements before we actually get started. First up, for those of you that want to, first of all, those of you that want to support the Night Council, consider taking a look at the Patreon, which is actually connected to my Patreon. If you guys look on the Patreon and chat, and just go ahead and somebody will throw a command out there. But essentially, there is a special tier of patron called Night Watch, which essentially means that specifically for that particular Patreon tier, all that stuff will be split between us, and that's also going to be the Patreon tier that we will start allowing like fan topics or fan questions and things like that. So ways to communicate directly with the Night Council. So there you go. Take a look at that if you want to support the Night Council or Russ and Snake and Scott, all those fine gentlemen. That is an avenue that you might choose to take. I also forgot to tweet. Let me do that. Anybody else have any announcements to make? Any personal stuff?
I'm handsome.
That is
True.
Yeah.
That is a good announcement.
All right. I mean,
Added to the record log.
All right. Just etch that one into the stone.
A little like the lawyer, like, the courtroom transcriber, like in the background. Just like, okay.
All right. The stenographer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the fucking stenographer. And Russ is handsome. All right, we got that down.
Come on, guys, get yours in.
Anybody else? Scott? Snake?
I'm handsome. I am Ron Burgundy.
All right, put that down. Just clickety clack.
It's the same thing under it, just with a question mark at the end.
I am handsome?
Handsome?
Fucking what? All right. Okali do Kali. So there we go. Well, let's get straight into it. I do have one more announcement as well. For those of you that don't know, there's a new D&D game starting for my own personal stuff. I have been contacted by Shroud, of all people.
Jesus, where does it end?
Yeah. Oh, you guys didn't know about that? Oh man.
I did.
Yeah, I
You're
did.
working your fingers to the bone.
Yeah. Shroud and his friends contacted me, so the next game is going to have Shroud, Bonanz, Sacriel, his wife Shannon, Alexia Ray, Jordan Fisher, and they're talking about trying to get Pokemon.
Damn.
So that's a
And I
stack.
mean, with the
Pretty
soda,
stacked, dude.
That's a
and with the
stack.
soda game, you had like 40 to 60,000 people watching, like collectively.
I think it was,
That was a great game, by the way.
yeah,
I was actually like
hilarious.
super impressed by how well they work together.
yeah, it went really well. Like Jesus. Yeah, it's gonna be like there was like 43,000 people watching. Anyway, enough about all that. Let's get straight to the good stuff. So, following our round robin tradition, the first was Scott, the second was me, and the third is Russ Money, Mr.
Hello,
Handsome
it's
himself,
me.
El Guapo.
El Guapo.
Yeah.
That is true.
All right,
I
buddy.
am Pagliacci.
Excellent Spanish, my lord.
Excellent Spanish, my lord. Well done. Oh yes, muchos buenos. All right, go ahead and start us off, Russ. What is your topic?
Oh man. Well, I had that list of 4, but let's see here. I'm gonna go with, in a video game, what aspects besides gameplay should never be neglected? And for me personally, I have to say music is very important when it comes to gameplay or just games in general.
Are we
It can
saying?
just-
Oh, go ahead.
Hmm.
No,
No,
go ahead.
I was gonna. It's just that music can like invoke like so many feelings and like just memories. When they do a nice callback in a video game, say like an Undertale, it just hits you right in the heart,
Okay.
and I love that.
Yeah. All right. Well, my clarification of it is: are we saying which should not be neglected, as in this is an absolute like that? Basically, are we saying this one cannot be neglected and others could be, or are we saying that like this is one of the highest priorities other than gameplay?
I would say if it would be equal or just below gameplay, because gameplay obviously is most important
So
when
this
it
is a
comes to
ranking
games.
system, basically. You're
I
determining.
guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And yours is music. I mean, I think many people are going to agree with that. But anybody else want to go first, other than Russ?
I feel like it's cheap. I have to say music too, because like
You're a music
it's
boy. I expected that.
Yeah, I have to. But it's like the amount that you can do with just a tiny motif of like a character's theme, and then like bringing that up in a scene later. And having just not even consciously, but you think about that character because of that, just like little stuff like that,
yeah.
it can't be matched.
Subconscious stuff, yeah. Like or like example, like look at the Master Chief's theme. You know, the Halo theme.
Dun, 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 dun.
When that plays
Dun, dun, dun,
anywhere,
dun.
it's like it's so powerful. Like, and I think that's a totally like, man, it's gonna be hard to dethrone music from that spot. Hell, I would even argue that music could be more important than gameplay, but that wasn't the comprising of the. Well, yeah, I know.
I mean, you could say that absolutely. I mean, it's on par with
Yeah,
it.
but
For
anyway,
sure.
what about you, Snake?
I would stretch music to sound design in general.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
the whole shebang, like all
Yeah.
sound. Oh, okay.
Like the way footsteps sound, the way the environment sounds when you interact with it, weapon sounds. If we're talking like any sort of shooter, gunfire.
Yeah.
Hell, if we're talking a multiplayer thing, voice proximity.
Oh, that's
there's
one
so
of my
much.
favorites.
I love that shit in games. Makes it so much more immersive, dude. Remember when we used to play Rust like a really long time ago?
Yeah,
We had that like it, dude. That shit was so fun. I actually really enjoyed early Rust.
me too. It's a shame they all changed it all.
Yeah.
Sorry, with the sound design is very important and it's very linked to like environment, like getting you immersed and stuff like that. Can you say that you could have a game that looks like absolute garbage but still get you immersed by sound alone? I mean, I guess Amnesia kind of falls in there, doesn't it?
I suppose this is the point where I kind of attempt to make an argument for something else because, to be completely honest, I agree. I think music is up there. But if I were to make an argument for another aspect of the game being just as important, now this obviously depends entirely on game type. See, this is the other thing I think is important. I think the reason why music is up there so far is because it doesn't, like, its value doesn't really change from game genre to game genre. Whereas other aspects of the game can. Like even gameplay can. Like in a story-driven game, there's not a lot of gameplay, right? But music is almost always required to be at high value, like high, popping off, because you'll notice a game that has bad music or no music at all. And I'll give you a perfect example. What is it? The newest Dragon Quest 11 or whatever, the newest one that came out for the Western audiences until they patched it. I think you could only ever hear one song.
Ooh,
and it was maddening.
it just grains into you.
Like,
you just start losing it after a while.
It would just drive you insane. And then the rest of the game is fucking like quiet. Like there's no music, there's no mooding, anything like that. So I definitely think that music, one of the reasons why its value is not just the emotions, not just the memory, but it's the fact that it actually doesn't change its value depending on game genre, not if a game wants to take itself seriously. But if I were to make an argument, my argument would probably be world design. I'm a sucker for world design. Like, if a game's world and what it's trying to do is well developed, I think you would be able to forgive bad gameplay.
So you're talking about like the lore of the world.
Not even necessarily the lore, just the information that you can gain from world design. There's a lot that could be told, like the level design telling you that this is you hiding behind a wall or not, stuff like that. I kind of equate those two together, but world design is basically only really valued in like certain types of games, but I think that it's important. Like, it's the little things that get me. And it's not always like visually based either. It can be sound based. It could just be, kind of more immersively placed in there. But like one of the things that really matters to me is like if I'm walking through an area, a little offshoot like corner of like something happening. Like if I'm walking through an old deserted street, a swinging sign in the wind. It's that's something that I value. It's the little the little just sousance of reminders of where you are. That to me is what I really value. Now I'm a different kind of person than most people. I view things wide. I'm more of a wide view kind of person. So I look at those things specifically, but that's really the best argument I have of something that might be up there with music, but honestly I think it loses to music. So anyway.
I agree though. That's definitely important. And while it's not the same, something that came to mind immediately was not quite environmental storytelling, but environmental cues in The Last of Us Part 2. Like when you're traversing the world, they very subtly indicated things you can climb and things you can't by covering them in foliage. So like if there's the top of a bus, for instance, something that you could typically climb, they indicate that you can't by putting vines or something on it.
Yeah.
And it's something that's so subtle but so effective.
And it doesn't knock you out with like a fucking invisible wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog is really, really good with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like all of their games are really good at that.
I mean, hell, so are the Metal Gear games. It's like every little detail in those things just matter. I always loved one of the things like when you put on the croc hat and if you like crawl on your belly and just peek it around the corner, a guard sees it, he'll freak out.
Oh yeah.
It's just small things like that I loved, or like blowing up the ration station and then they go starving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a really good point about the whole music though. How it's like timeless.
Yeah, because it literally doesn't matter what game it's in. Like Halo is a shooter, and it has one of the most iconic themes. Like it's up there with Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy VII's battle theme of recognizability. Like so that's something to me. It's like music is like it transcends that a little bit because music is actually a more I think music is a more powerful art genre form than even video games. Like it because it's older, like it's ancient. Music has existed since like fucking we figured out two rocks bang together make nice noise, so basically
ACBC.
ACBC, yeah, exactly. But
well, actually, let's I'm gonna pose a hypothetical, or not a hypothetical, but actually let's think about it. Are there any games that are actually really great that are known to have not great music?
Resident Evil, baby.
When we say not great, do we mean that they specifically don't have a lot of music, or that the music is specifically
nothing
bad?
memorable? Nothing like you hum the theme because it's so catchy. Just like okay, it's got the music,
well,
whatever.
See, that's the thing. I think a lot of games that are mediocre, you're not going to remember the themes of, but you'll notice if the themes are bad. You see what I mean? I think that's the more of the crux of the situation, because it's like when you play through like Metal Gear Solid, right? Do you remember all the themes of those games? You might remember one or two of them, but all of them?
No, I remember all of them.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
depending.
We're all Metal Gear fans.
Okay. Maybe this is a bad audience.
Bad party to
This is a bad party. Okay, how
I
about?
would-
Yeah, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like you're not gonna remember every theme, but you're gonna notice if it's bad or absent completely.
Question, Russ.
Yes.
Dive into the Resident Evil music being bad.
I was just more making a joke on the old like director's cut like way back.
The basement theme.
Yeah.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
talk about Mansion Basement.
But I mean a lot of those themes just from that era.
But even
when
then, the way that we talked about
it
that,
was rough.
that's still like a positive way that we talked about how bad it was. Like, it's like a nostalgic reminder of something.
Right.
So even
it,
bad
it did
music
its
can.
job, and we still remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
So the funny thing about the entire revised director's cut music is that it was added after the fact. Like even after the release of the director's cut, the physical version, they added the new soundtrack to the digital version only. So that's the one that's on the PSN. So all the people who played the game originally have the original music, and that was it's very noticeably different.
Oh, for sure.
Who did that? Who was responsible for that?
And someone can correct me if I'm misremembering, but the composer, he hired a ghost songwriter to craft the original music. He lied about it. Basically, he took credit for someone else's work, and then he was charged with creating a revised soundtrack for the director's cut. And Mansion Basement is what he put out.
Oh my god.
Oh
And I
god.
believe like one of like the little tidbits is he's actually deaf too.
Yeah, he's deaf.
What?
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, okay, that makes sense.
The Beethoven of his time.
Well,
Wow.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Jesus
Well-
Christ.
someone actually brought up a really good game to talk about that actually has very little music, but the sound design is incredible. That's Breath of the Wild. Is that
Oh, man,
everyone here
never
played it?
Yeah,
I know Snake has.
yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, that's fair because the sound design in that game is fantastic, but the music, it doesn't have a lot of varied music. It does have music that plays often enough, I think, to count, but it's not varied enough to.
There's like the main towns have their themes, but then pretty much when you're roaming the world, there's just tiny little like piano riffs.
Yeah.
Just like little teeny little things like that. And
You
that's
know-
technically the entire soundtrack, and it's still good.
You know what I was thinking about? Hold on. I think I actually have an example here. Like, or at least somewhat. Like, it's really hard thinking of a good game that doesn't really have memorable music. Like, now, listen to me on this, all right? Not counting the boss themes, Dark Souls doesn't really have a lot of music. Not
Doesn't
like
have
not
any
an ex-
music really.
Yeah, like because you wander around in silence a lot of the time, right? Which is, I think that's the point because you're supposed to feel isolated, right? And if you have like a bopping soundtrack the whole time, you're gonna be like, oh man, yeah, I'm feeling good. But you know, the funny thing,
Yeah, when I think about the music in Dark Souls, all I think about is the jingle from the bonfires.
yeah, or like and then you got the boss battle music, which are awesome. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna downplay those, but man, so much of that game is quiet. If you really think like
Yeah.
music wise, like there's just
It does it
very
on
quiet.
purpose though. Like,
right. But that's what I'm saying. But that is what I'm saying is like, do we count silence as sound design?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say so too. Which therefore that makes this like point so hard to even like formulate in my head because it's like, what game tried to make this music work and it didn't to the point that the game wasn't good, that wasn't already a bad game, that essentially was made bad for the most part because of the music or lack thereof, I guess. And I can't think of anything. Honestly.
See, that I can't find an answer to. It's
Yeah.
weird because music is so important, but I can't think of a game that has been ruined by its music.
Yeah. I really
Guitar
Another-
Hero.
Another great
Oh.
silent game,
How
Journey.
dare
That was a joke.
Yeah, I know.
Did I say again, Russ?
Oh, I was saying another great silent game is Journey.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's a really good example too.
Well,
Is it-
Journey has it has music.
Oh, cues, yeah, but I mean a majority of it's
Well,
and then a lot of it you walk up and you make sounds.
yeah, there's that like the music that plays in Journey is entirely contextual, and it happens mostly at like the beginning and ends of levels. But yeah, the majority of the time spent in it is quiet.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that silence is good. Like it makes me think of Bloodborne. How there's no music ever unless you're fighting a boss, except in the upper cathedral ward, and that makes it so much scarier. Oh wait, no, that one prison place too. But like when you're in an area that has music in a Souls game, you're like, oh god, what the fuck is
Yeah,
happening?
you're like,
here?
oh.
This is not right.
Your eyes are open, your weapon's out, you're looking for it. Where the fuck is
Yep,
it?
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Guinevere
Unless
in
you're in
Dark Souls
Majula.
What's up, Snake?
Guinevere in Dark Souls 1, the ultimate bait and switch.
Oh
The
yeah,
music
yeah.
that plays there.
Yeah. The bait and switch music. Yeah. Got him. Like
Wait, what are you talking about?
Go
The-
ahead, Snake. Tell him.
The music when you walk into Guinevere's place, there's music that plays there, and
Amazing
it's all
chest
holy.
ahead.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like a
yeah,
holy
yeah.
theme, and yeah, that's intentional.
Welcome, chosen undead.
And then you shoot her boob, and it's all dark.
That's how you
Times.
ruin the sun.
Man, I don't know. Like, I can't think of anything. So I guess what is it? Anybody else have anything to say on the topic? I think that's pretty close. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, no, I really can't either. I would like to pretend that there's more of a discussion, but go ahead, think.
For me, a game that was kind of ruined by the music, not at first, but over time, Killing Floor.
Ooh.
Well, we played it a little bit, can tell you.
It has generic rock music, and it eventually just stopped working for me.
Another game that does music cues that I thought was just like amazing was Payday 2. Oh my god, the drops whenever your operator's talking to you, he's like, here they come, and then just
Oh
was
yeah, I
probably one of
remember
my
that
favorite
shit.
parts.
That was pretty cool.
God,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like every game in which music is at any point the focus is just always made better.
Yeah.
Like Doom, for God's sakes, is just you're fighting and you're just, but it's like that's everything. Like even people who don't like metal like that.
Yeah, imagine how much worse a game Doom would be without the soundtrack of that game. It would
Yeah,
be
it would-
so
it-
just
it-
barren.
Yeah, it would be oh, yeah, it would be really weak actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, because Doom is not a, I don't want to say Doom is a bad game by any means, because it's a very good game. But I think the music, look, I'm gonna
It
be
puts
honest.
you in a mood.
I think the music is more important than the shooting in that game in Doom. Like I really do, because like the sounds of the explosions and the, just fucking pumping you up the whole time, dude.
Oh yeah,
God.
because yeah, the gameplay of Doom is just it's just run and gun. It's pretty generic. It's still fun as shit, but the music the music makes you go, I am fucking slaying demons, and you're just like, "Ugh."
Yeah, like, and it's simple. It's not trying to be anything that it's not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's, and now this would be another topic, but I like games that don't try to be something they're not. They don't try to be more than what they are, and they're just honest with themselves. That's why I like Doom
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much. Like there are people gave Doom a bad review. It's like there's no story. It's like, here's the story. There's a demon. Fucking kill it. That's it. That's the story.
That's all I need,
Bro.
You got a chainsaw for me? Oh fuck yeah!
That's it. That's all you need. Like, what more do you need, bro? There's a robot in your head going, hey, go over there and kill those demons. You got it, boss. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need anything else. But anyway, yeah, I think, I mean, if anybody else have anything on top, that topic's pretty closed. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
pretty clear consensus.
I do have one thing that
what's up?
sort of it stuck out to me with the advent of this topic, that there are a bunch of games whose music I really like, but I also turned it off. Like Monster Hunter World, I listen to my own music when I play that.
Yeah, same.
Same with Tekken. What else?
Oh, but if Infinite Azure comes on, I have to listen to that.
Is it just because the repetitiveness or something, or
I guess.
sounds like you're not sure of what you're even like commenting about, because like you're not.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why I turn it off, because I know, like, I like the music in those games. I just would prefer my own.
That's a good point for someone brought up Path of Exile. The exact same thing. It's got pretty good music, but I turn it off. Huh. Wonder why.
I think, and I'm kind of spitballing here, I think it's because of the aspect of what the gameplay is, and specifically that the gameplay is repetitive. I think that might be it. Because in Path of Exile, for example, most of the time you're going through the same game you've already played like 100,000 fucking times, right? So you've already heard all the voice lines, you've heard the music already, so you're playing that music, that your personal music, to get you like pumped up, or to perhaps combat the monotony. And I think that
It is a repetition thing.
Yeah, I think it's a repetition thing, because in Monster Hunter you're fighting the same monsters over and over again, just farming, right? And it's like how people don't listen to MMO music most of the time. They listen to their own soundtrack when they're doing something
that's
repetitive.
absolutely true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because MMOs are very repetitive, or at least some of them are. So I think that might be it. It's about the repetitive nature, because if you're playing like a story-based game or a game you've never played before, you're not playing your own music. You're listening to the experience, right? But if you're playing through something that you've already done and you're just like grinding it out, right? Then you're more likely to do that, because it's a repetitive thing. That would be my only. That's my answer. As
No,
to why.
I think that is the
Yeah,
answer.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I could think of. And
I guess my oh, go ahead.
no, I was just trying to think. And as for fighting games, I think fighting games have a very, very rare specific niche of music where, if the game doesn't have character themes, or if you don't like the character themes, you'll play music that's your theme, and it's like your own personal fight music. It's very WrestleMania in that way, I think. But
Yeah, true.
But
I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom did it really well.
yeah,
when
and
your
but I think
character
that's
comes in.
I think that's like very like a specific thing that only really fighting games do. Like in that.
I want to take you for a ride.
Yeah.
Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da.
Take you
I
for a
will
ride.
fight anyone who turns off Marvel 2's music.
Take you for a ride.
I guess last word on sound design is I want to ask, why in this day and age, in every computer game I open up, have to blast my eardrums and just be as loud as it can possibly
Oh,
be?
dude.
What is happening?
Yeah, that's
Like what in the startup screen?
Yeah, yeah. Can we start at
No,
25%?
anything, yeah.
Can we start?
Video the way it's meant to be played.
Yeah. I would rather have this happen. Oh, I can barely hear that. Let me turn that up. Versus, oh God, I gotta turn it down. You know what I mean? Fuck.
The gamer is now deaf.
The gamer is now dead.
Yeah, it's like the old THX intros for movies. Like, just why?
Yeah, the sound test. Jesus Christ. All right, well, before we go to Snake's topic, I have one question. When are we going to play Tekken against Snake? Hopefully soon.
Yo, let me in on that.
Yeah, lay down the gauntlet.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, cool. All right, we'll do that. We'll do that sometime. All right, so that's it. Anybody else have anything on Russ's topic?
Nope.
All right.
Pretty clear cut.
All right. Good topic, Russ. Very efficiently handled, that one was.
Oh, thanks.
Quite.
What do you got for us, Snake?
So it's not game related.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
We're going off the beaten
Branching
path.
out. All right.
I mean, it's also not terribly deep either. It can be, I guess. I'm hoping it will.
Do you like ice cream?
Yeah.
That's your topic. Let's
Well,
discuss.
just with the changing of the seasons and allergies and all that, it got me, especially like I went outside for the first time in a while. Favorite season and why? Or I guess as objective as you can be, best season and why?
Oh, my answer.
I mean, I'm.
Go ahead.
It's autumn, right?
Yeah. That's
Autumn's
what I
the
was gonna
best
say.
fucking
I
season.
was gonna say autumn too. Like I really like fall because fall is you have it's cool enough that you can like go outside and be really active, but not so cold that you have to.
What
like,
months
bundle
is
up.
fall exactly?
Fall is well, it depends
we
on
just
where you
begun.
are, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, here, like
September is about time when fall starts.
Like mid late September is when it starts.
and then it ends in what, like February?
No, like November.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's only. Oh yeah, wow, it is only 3 months. It's 4 seasons. Wow, I learned something today.
The calendar's crazy.
It looks like
But I
Scott
mean, yeah,
came
in
down with a
Texas, at
terrible
least.
case of the punched in the heads. All right.
But I mean, yeah, in Texas, when it stops being 100 degrees is when autumn begins. So it's
Yeah.
now in the 85, so we're feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Feels
Oh,
nice.
winter is there.
They could be pretty frigid.
Yeah, like you get like sleet.
Pretty
Yeah.
frigid for the south.
Yeah, like
mean, it's-
look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We're not gonna get like big tufts of snow. I can go out and make a
No.
snowman. That ain't gonna happen.
We
But
we get snow like every other year. It skips a year.
yeah, we go outside and it's like, no, it's what is it, 50 degrees? All right.
Shorts weather.
Yeah, that's
Fuck yeah.
shorts weather, baby girl. Like, yeah, you know, because I'm from the cold places in the south, so you know, 50 degrees doesn't bother me. But that's like our wind chill down here.
You can have the soundbite, but I hate summer. God, fuck summer, dude.
Summer is annoying, dude. It's hot, sticky, just always there. God.
Constantly
moist,
yelling in
hate
my
it.
ear. Yeah,
Yeah.
constantly asking me for updates on the games. I mean,
A weird
Wind.
season. What a strangely intelligent season.
yeah, wind.
So everyone says fall, huh?
Well, me and Russ
Well,
said
yeah.
fall. I haven't heard Snake yet.
Well, what about you, Snake?
I mean, yeah, like it's the temperature is appropriate. It's also what I would deem coat/jacket weather, and I'm all about that life.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hoodie
Oh,
right
I'm-
now, and it feels good.
Same.
Like light jacket. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
That's
Wait a
my
minute.
preferred. I would like to throw spring into the ring though, as an objective, like at least a more objective season, because the temperature is more like people who get cold easily don't have to deal with that as much, and there's just more happening.
Just wear more clothes, forehead. Jeez. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I hate spring
Spring
because it's
doesn't
starting
have any
to get
good
warm.
holidays, though, does it? Like, what holidays are in spring? Easter? Maybe?
Nah, that's
Valentine's.
Valentine? Oh, I guess. Well, no, that's February.
That's the winter.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
do you
still
still think
winter.
that's winter?
That's
Alright,
still
alright.
winter. That's still winter, yeah. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
spring,
fuck spring.
spring doesn't have any sick-ass fucking holidays. You know what autumn has? Hella fucking
Halloween,
weed, dude.
Thanksgiving. Ooh.
Ooh, baby! Not only am I gonna get fat on candy, I'm gonna get fat on birds that can't fly, dude. bro. Like,
Delicious dodos.
like it's not even really a contest if you think about it. Like, oh man. Plus, spring has like lots of showers and everything's still kind of wet.
Yeah,
True.
in Florida, spring is literally just severe thunderstorms
Just a
every day at the exact
monsoon
same
is
time.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I posed the question, because when you factor in the different places we all live, you're gonna get different opinions.
Well,
on
see, I would say winter, and it's for half nostalgia reasons and half, I live in Florida reasons. To me, winter is, I don't know. I have very fond memories of growing up in New York, like playing in the snow with my friends and family and stuff like that. That makes me just very, very accustomed to liking winter. And, I had a pretty good family upbringing and all that stuff. So we always have big Christmases with, 3 sides of family all meeting together. And it was just generally a good time. So I actually like Christmas. I know a lot of people are not big fans because of, mixed home life issues. But Christmas has always been my favorite holiday. It always makes me feel very wide people happy. And I don't want to be like you guys and be a bunch of fall guys.
Wow.
God
Wow.
damn it.
But how much he had that one locked into his fucking.
Oh,
back.
like literally 4 hours ago, I was asking Snake what his topic would be, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna come up with something good," and then I just got it.
Just wringing your hands.
Drop the fucking Fall Guys joke on us. Look at this fucking guy, dude. Ugh. Anyway, I think also something to keep in mind is that we are all in America, which is a temperate country, which actually has 4 seasons. Like, if you were in Australia, which it only has 2 seasons, hot as fuck and not so hot. So like that's pretty much
Well,
it.
how was it in Texas? I thought that's pretty much how
No,
it is in Texas.
Texas is not even close to Australia levels, dude. No.
Well, I'm not saying like Australia, but
Yeah.
for the most part, like at least in Florida, it's just
Texas
it's cold
has
and hot.
4 distinct differences. Like, I think it still does. I don't know. I think
It does,
I think
for sure.
I think your most straightforward ones are coastal cities and probably right in the smack in the middle of everything.
Which
Texas-
is where I am.
Yeah, Texas does not have 4 seasons. Yeah, okay, whatever.
It does.
Yeah.
It's just that our spring is real short and then it ramps the fuck up.
Yeah, our spring is a tiny little soy boy, and our Chad summer beats the shit out of it.
But it still happens, and sometimes it rains.
Yeah, it rains. Like,
Sometimes it rains in Texas. What of it?
yeah,
And sometimes it's fucking violent. I don't understand it, really.
Yeah.
Welcome to
God.
Tornado Alley.
Literally, dude, that's another reason I hate spring. Just fucking tornadoes and just like
Dude,
nasty,
hurricanes.
scary weather.
Man, I grew up in Oklahoma, bro. Let me tell you about some fucking tornadoes, my guy.
Those scare the shit out of me, dude.
It's more
Ugh.
flat than Texas.
Bro, I have spent so much time hiding under a turnpike with my fucking family growing up from a fucking tornado in a car. More times
That's
than I can
terrifying.
count. Yeah, because we lived in a trailer, dude. Like,
Jeez.
yeah, you know what happens? It comes
Nothing's
by,
bolted
I'm
down.
dead. Everybody else inside is dead. We're all fucked. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I would prefer hurricanes every day over tornado. Like, even though they cause more damage, the fact that you can, plan for them and not like, oh shit, I'm gonna die in 15 seconds. Like,
Yeah, you have
it's
5 minutes to get your life possessions
just
together.
your entire life packed into
Yeah,
a safe
God
place.
help you if your cat's hiding under the bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tornado watch turns into tornado warning. is when
Sorry,
you start
Mr.
to
Puss
sweat.
Puss, if you don't come out from that bed, I'm gonna have to leave you to the finger of God. Just-
God. And well, all right. Well, what do you think is this is a bit off topic? What do you think is the scariest form of natural disaster?
Oh Christ.
Oh man, oh God, like I've never been.
Plague.
I've never been. Okay, I've never been in like an actual earthquake, but I would imagine that like
Same.
an actual earthquake, like a serious one, would be fucking terrifying because they come out of nowhere, right? And there's no weather report. There's no like as
Yeah, you
far
can't
as
tell.
yeah, as far as I know, they're just a sucker punch from
That
the
is
earth.
what's so terrifying. That like literally in like California could just go. You know what? I'm just gonna go out to sea today. Like it can just fucking happen. This is ugh.
Yeah, the fault
Scares me,
line.
man.
It's just like
Yeah.
we're just hanging off the ledge, bro. Like
A lot of people are bringing up tsunami, and that's a really good one too. We don't really have to deal
we
with
don't
those.
deal with that because we're not like an island nation, but like Japan, I bet has to deal with that shit.
Yeah, that sounds because I mean that's basically like an earthquake too, because they happen from earthquakes, right?
I think so. Don't
So
they?
they just get very little warning. They're like, oh well, your entire city's now underwater. It's just like ugh, it's just ugh.
Oh,
Scary.
there's earthquake warnings. Oh, I was not aware of that.
They're pretty like not that far in advance because like they can detect like tremors and guess that there's going to be one, but I mean, for the most part, they're a lot harder to predict than, a bad thunderstorm or a hurricane or something like that.
Oh, you got like
Yeah.
60 seconds. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, no,
that's,
it's like-
you got your headset on. All of a sudden,
Yeah, like,
shit.
at that
Oh,
point, what's the
shit.
point of the warning? Like, you get a text on your phone that says, you're going to fucking die in 30 seconds. Like, all right, cool.
cool.
Thanks.
It's a shame I read that 10 seconds after it was sent to me.
Every time there's an earthquake in California, I see people on Twitter losing their fucking minds. And if they did warn them, people don't see it.
Oh, it's not an effective warning, apparently. Like, I'm just saying, dude.
Yeah. All these
Some
clips
guy
I
with
see
a
of streamers, like, in a hurricane, like, it just happens. Like, they don't get anything on their phone. It just, oh, this is a fucking hurricane now.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
'cause-
hurricane.
Hurricane
Oh, God.
or earthquake?
Yeah, because
sorry.
like when I think about it, like a tornado. I mean, I've experienced enough to know you get time to see that coming. A weatherman staring at the sky and going, "Hey, bro,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of there!" Constantly yelling at you. Hurricanes. Basically, you get like a whole month of warning on them because it's basically a gigantic sea tornado coming at you.
Yeah.
And then you get like you get like flash flooding is a problem, but you get like more warning for that. Blizzards, same thing. The plague. You get some warning about that. But man, that's the thing about an earthquake. It's just a fucking just boom, boom. Go fuck yourself.
I love those videos where you see a dog like just jump to his feet and run the fuck away, and the human's like, "What's going
Oh, 'cause
on?"
they
And
know
then
it's
the
coming.
earthquakes happen. Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
That's really cool, actually. Not for the dog, but
No. I'm just saying it's like just a phenomenon. It's just like
Yeah.
wow.
I know, but I think that was the scariest. Yeah, I don't know. I think kill count wise, what's at the top? Hurricane, probably.
probably hurricane or tsunami, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I think tsunami, dude, because the more I think about a tsunami, in the places where a tsunami is a problem, they are like the most affected by it, and it has the same warning time apparently of like an earthquake. And a tsunami just says, "Hey, you know what? Go fuck yourself."
You like living on Earth? Not anymore. Splat.
People are saying volcanic eruptions. Yeah, but when was the last time we had those aren't very common, as far as I know. When was the last time we had a volcano that erupted and like killed a bunch of people?
Wasn't there one fairly
Dante's
recent?
Inferno with Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, it was a good movie, I think. I don't remember. I was like 8.
I'm pretty sure there's a part where he like jumps over a melting car or something. That's the only thing
They're
I
common in
remember.
Hawaii. Yeah, but Hawaiians know that they're gonna, in my opinion, right, as shitty as it might be, a volcano is like, it goes off, a bunch of people fucking die, and that's awful, right? But when was the last time that actually happened? Because to me that would have to happen in a place where it didn't happen all the time. Like Hawaii has active volcanoes, just they know that's happening, so they don't go fucking near them and they take precautions, right? But if you,
Right.
but like, what's the volcano we have in the U.S.? Is it St. Helens?
Mount St. Helens?
Mount St. Helens.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's dormant, right? As far
Well,
as we know,
I believe
now,
it.
after it
was-
exploded.
Yeah.
after it exploded, or is it Yellowstone?
Oh, you're thinking of Yellowstone? That's like a super volcano.
Yeah.
Those are different.
Yeah,
Those
just,
are terrifying.
In it or something.
My whole point is this, right? Let's say right now, God forbid, Yosemite Valley just explode, like yell, boom, pow, pow, that would be awful, but that doesn't happen, an earthquake happens like every fucking day, so I guess
Yeah, if we're talking about raw numbers, then yeah. Like
that's what I'm
those
talking
will-
about. Kill count wise, that's what it is. Like I don't think volcano is killed.
Yeah,
as
it's
many
2020
people-
isn't over. It's a good point.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's not. Maybe we should move on. Yeah, or maybe we're
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
with fire.
Yeah,
here.
but volcanoes took out all the dinosaurs. Or wait, that was a meteor.
What
Anyway,
if
go ahead,
what if the meteor came from a volcano like a mortar?
dude. That would be
Like it
sick.
spit it out, got
Spit
caught
out a
in the
meteor
gravity.
from the Earth instead.
And
Oh,
then
like
hit
shot it
itself
into
in the
space,
eye.
and then it gets
Like a
pulled back in from like the gravity well, and then hits us. Dude,
Oh my God.
that would be the equivalent of shooting a slingshot into a wall and into your own eye.
Who would do that?
Yeah, who would do that? LOL.
Or like spitting into the wind.
Oh yeah, you spin in the wind and goes in your own
Ah,
face.
shit, my own spit.
Ew, gross. I suck. Man. To be fair, mega eruptions have caused multiple mass extinctions. Okay. Well,
It's true.
if we're gonna... Okay, what about the Ice Age? Snow has killed more people. Most
It
deadly
got too
weapon.
cold.
The
The
most
snow was
deadly
caused by
weapon.
the volcano.
The most deadly weapon in human history is the spear. All right? It's
Oh, shit,
killed
is that true?
yeah,
Is
it's
that
killed.
true?
The spear has killed more people, period, than anything else that we've ever invented.
I thought it would be like a rock or something, but then I guess technically you could
You
just make
put
a spear
rock
with like
on
a sharp
stick.
rock on the end of it. Yeah.
Rock goes
I mean,
on
we've-
stick, becomes spear.
We've gone way off topic, but for
Yeah.
some reason I always figured it was like fire would have been the biggest like man-on-man killer. I don't know why.
I think it's a lot
Anyway,
easier to
I
just
mean,
pick up a
spear
rock and
makes
just
sense,
smash a
though.
guy in the head
Or
with
just
it.
a club.
Yeah,
yeah.
we started with seasons. We're way off in the weeds. Let's
Yeah,
get back-
so yeah, my favorite season is winter.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
nice.
I would like
Nuclear winter.
question about that, Colonel.
Okay. Nuclear winter. That was funny. Sorry.
How are you with the cold in general since you've been living there for so long?
I love the cold.
I love the cold too. I grew up in New York.
Make me sleepy, make me hibernate, and I love sleeping.
Cold, like your house being cold is always better than it being hot.
Yes.
I'm of that opinion because I grew up in a very cold place. I grew up in the mountains of Arkansas, if you want to call them that, the high hills.
God, you made that sound so like high fantasy in the mountains of Arkansas.
Yes, deep within
And
the
Appalachia.
Ozarks. Deep within the Ozarks, where doth my people dwell. You know, it was really cold, and I grew up around cold shit, and then I also had like really humid summers. It was awful.
I hate humidity.
Yeah, same.
Worse.
You can always put more clothes on. You can't like take your fucking skin off. So
Imagine if you
Better.
could though.
imagine if you could, just giant muscle skeletons just sleeping in bed, all cozy, nice.
There are two types of people. Imagine if you could, and you could.
Gets like
It's not
pizza
gonna be
roller,
very
just like.
comfortable.
Yeah. All right. That was a hell of a topic, Snake. And
Apparently,
apparently,
we talked about the topic the least in that actual topic. But
yeah, I
alright.
know, right? That was a dangerous.
But you know,
topic,
I like that.
apparently.
I like that random deviation.
Yeah,
It's
we
good.
fucking talked about natural disasters. Good stuff. Alrighty. Anybody else about Snake seasons?
Fuck summer. Fuck yeah, autumn. That's about it.
All right. Good
Give
job.
me some turkey.
Nice job, honk honk. All right. Scotty Junjuns, what do you got for us?
All right, I wanted to go over whether or not we think it's a good thing, but this is definitely a thing that's happening. How, looking at like Among Us, how the most apparently the most efficient form of advertisement now is entirely related to Twitch streamers. And is that a good thing? How accurate is that? Is that accurate for other forms of media? And is this going to continue in the future?
Hey, they call us influencers for a reason, bruh.
Well, let's actually unbox that because I think the answer to that question is multifaceted. Because I guess the first thing you have to consider is what video games rely, meaning they must have or they pay for advertisement on Twitch as opposed to traditional media, and how many do we think of those types of games benefit more from Twitch versus from the traditional forms of media? I would supposit that indie games
Yep.
depend on
100%.
Twitch more so than any other ones, because that's the only way Among Us is even known, right? It's because streamers
After
liked
2
it.
years.
Because streamers liked it, and then they started playing it, and now it has 1.8 million followers on Twitch, right? But a game like God of War doesn't need a Twitch streamer to promote it because it's got a whole marketing team to do that. But to answer the heart of your question, do I think that it matters and that it will have like a huge impact and that its impact, or whether or not its impact will grow? I think if Twitch continues to become more and more mainstream, I think it may surpass traditional media for video games specifically. I really think so.
Do we think that's a good thing? Is the follow up to that,
Well-
giving so much power to the select few popular enough to make it that widespread?
And it's not any different than the companies that are strong enough to advertise what they want. I mean, it's all we're doing is we're trading one devil for another, but at least this devil is one of us or closer to one of us than a corporation is. You know?
And do we think this can extend to other things? Because, you know, they're also just like influencers on YouTube, you know, like selling makeup and shit. And people like the companies are paying them more than, you know, TV stations and, you know, ads online and things like that, because it isn't like, obviously they're paying them because they've done the math and they're getting more value out of it.
You know,
Right. You wouldn't want to advertise at a loss, of course.
yeah. I think here's my big thing, right? And I just want to be straight up. I know that advertisement has to work, or else people wouldn't pay for it. But honestly, I don't see it. I have never bought anything because I saw an ad for it. You know, ever. Now, I have bought a game because I saw a streamer playing it. So in my own, you know, personal viewpoint, which has a word that describes that, but I don't remember what it is. That advertisement style works because it's worked on me. What's it called when you look at things through your own eyes? Oh, what is it called? It's like a legal term. No, legal term. It's a legal term. It's not perspective, not confirmation bias.
Auto simping.
Auto simping. No, it's God. What is that? Anecdotal. That's it. Your anecdotal experience. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, anecdotal. Like your anecdotal experience, you know, when I'm looking through that, that's worked on me. So that to me, that's where I stand on that argument. Is it's like, do I think it's a good thing? I think morality-wise, you know, it's just a different devil. But I think it's a better thing for the industry itself because at least then it's not a corporation that's doing it. It's a player of the game that's doing it, and you know, as long as that remains uncorrupted, I suppose we should be fine.
See,
well, what about... Oh, go ahead. Thanks, sir.
Just back to the advertisement thing. I can think back to specific adverts for games that came on television back in like the 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I bought games from those, but
Same.
the kicker there is that I was predisposed to buy those games anyway because I was already into the series.
Yeah. Like,
So that...
Oh, go ahead. Did we cut you off?
Like, it like there's a... I don't know if that's enough of a distinction to really make a difference in the whole thing, but thinking more recently, I don't think I bought anything that I saw an ad for because I hate ads. They piss me off.
Yeah, usually, I mean, just as a gamer in general, even back then, I already knew of games before they were on television because I had a Nintendo Power subscription, like every cool kid. Or, I mean, just when the internet happened, you can just look things up. You can watch trailers now. You can pretty much curate your own content at that point. And especially with like how search engines are nowadays, you can just say, show me an RTS game that's like this game, and you'll get something that's pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's going to meet your expectations, but it's something different.
Hang on. What is a trailer if not an ad?
I mean, it essentially is. Usually, I mean, I guess when I look up trailers, I specifically go for gameplay trailers.
But do
just
you
to
hate
see what the
trailers,
game-
Snake?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Do you hate trailers, Snake?
Let me rephrase. I hate forced ads.
What if the forced ad is a trailer?
Yo, that's a good point, because sometimes I'll watch YouTube and a trailer for a video game come on, and I will watch it sometimes.
Same. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like,
it gets
well.
me. It gets me right in the monkey brain.
Not me. If it's something forced, I will immediately tune out and skip it at the first opportunity. If
So you're telling me,
possible.
if you're watching a stream and fucking Hideo Kojima comes on as like Metal Gear Solid 6 featuring the original cast, David Hayter's back, you'd be like, I'm skipping this?
Yeah, if I have the opportunity, probably, yeah. And then I'll look it
Really?
up- Yeah, then I'll look it up later when I actually want to watch it.
That is intense hatred.
Trying to
Brad.
listen to ASMR. What are you doing to me?
I think that's more of the sovereignty of self, honestly. Because that's like, he
Yeah.
doesn't want to do anything he doesn't want to do. And if you force something on him, then he doesn't want to do it out of principle that you're forcing him to do it. It's not
Yeah.
even about that he hates it. I think because if he hated, I don't know. I get the feeling that if you hated ads to that level, then you would like not go on websites that had ads on the sides, like a webcomic series or some shit, you know?
I use uBlock Origin for a reason.
Jesus Christ, Snake. All right.
Somebody in chat said something kind of funny, and it made me think. And it's like, do you hate porn ads on porn sites? And it's just like, man, I am there watching porn, and they're showing me more porn in an ad, but I don't want to watch this ad.
bro, I don't want to watch that porn. All right.
Yeah,
I
this
want
is
to watch.
ruining my experience.
Whoa! I don't need to know about Backdoor Babes. I'm currently watching Oni-chan or some shit, dude. Yeah. God damn it, dude. Oh God.
What a strange concept.
I know, right? Like,
But I mean, if I was desperate enough, I'd probably do it to porn ads too. So,
Oh my god.
like if there's a website that just does porn ads, I mean, and I signed up for it, I guess it's what I got to work with.
I don't fucking know Japanese terms. Chat, calm the fuck down. Oh my God. Anyway, I think what's important to keep in mind for ads and stuff. Back to the main point. Do we think it's a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's an inevitable thing, honestly, and I think it's something that is ultimately going to be better than what we had before. But let me piggyback on your your proposition there, Scott, because that led me to thinking about something else. I'm going to take it a step further. Do you think Twitch streamers will become so valuable in their advertisement ability that games will be made and broken by them?
I think we're already seeing that to some extent.
Yeah, I agree.
And,
Yeah,
and do we
basically
think that will hit AAA games though, not just indie games?
I think that's really no.
I don't think so. I don't think that investors will allow that to happen because investors are not connected to this world. Investors have the money
The money to do what though?
to influence the direction that any game creation goes in for AAA studios.
But would a business not want the more cost-effective idea? They could devote less resources if they cater to a certain, like a streamer or something like that. They could get the same amount of sales and revenue with less resources.
You'd think so, but they tend to be pretty resistant. One thing that people don't really realize is that a lot of those people on those boards do not really care for the way trends are going, and they try to influence them in the way that they're used to.
Doesn't that just make them ineffective though?
You would think, but
here's what I think about that, actually. I think the problem you're describing, Snake, of it not affecting them, I think that resistance isn't that it's actually a better course and that they're doing that because it's the better course. I think that's the resistance of technology versus old guard.
yeah, I agree as well.
Yeah, I think that's far more likely to be the case because there's people that still think that cable TV is the the superior form of entertainment when man, I don't think anybody actually believes that that's paying attention because internet TV and everything else just kind of trumps that up. And I think all right, now
Yeah, the on-demand streaming service blows cable out of the water.
yeah, it's kind of like Blockbuster went out of business because you don't need to do that shit anymore. You just get what you want online, and I think it's the same concept. But here's my here's my big viewpoint, I suppose. This is my grandiose statement. You guys tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
I think ultimately all this depends on whether or not Twitch becomes a truly powerhouse company as a streaming service. Like right now,
Something like Warner or something that.
Yeah, it needs to become like Amazon, even though Amazon owns it. Like it needs to become that level of strength in order for us to actually see Twitch streamers take on the hard advertisement. Because how many do you think of our fellow streamers have crossed into mainstream media? Probably Ninja, but other than him, who else? Maybe Shroud, maybe. And I don't mean people that came from
Dr. Disrespect was on Jimmy Kimmel Live once. I saw it.
Okay, so Dr. Disrespect, so that's 2. And remember, I'm not counting people that came from traditional media into our world, but rather one of us ascending to mainstream celebrity, right?
Right.
And to be completely honest, other than those 2, who else we got? Maybe Slasher because he's been on TV. Siegel was on Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, so maybe 3. I don't know.
Has Pokimane like been anywhere? She's pretty up
do
there.
we count one-time people, or do we count like multi-time people like Ninja? Like I think Ninja is in a good example because he was in a thing with Kevin Hart. He did that ice bucket challenge. He did he did the Masked Singer. He did a lot of shit, right? Like he's
Kraken was on Disney XD.
Was he?
Yeah.
Really?
we kind of talked about this story like a couple of sessions back, but he was doing like a Mario Kart tournament or something like that.
Oh, that's
and
right.
they were playing with a delay, and it was just horrible.
That's right.
I don't know, man. That's just something to think about, you know, because where are we at the crux, you know? Like how much further is Twitch gonna go that we actually get to that point to where the advertisement power of a Twitch streamer is valuable enough that a company needs to take them seriously. I don't know. I'm not saying that, you know, it's a good option, but I mean like they have to. That's the level I'm getting at.
Well, I don't think you have to relegate it just to Twitch because people can basically you're not, you know, these people are not paying them just because they're Twitch streamers. It's because they are famous people on the internet. They might have YouTube, Instagram. They might have multiple different medium. The whole, like, all of our goals, our jobs as streamers is basically to be known and liked by as many people as possible.
On as many platforms as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't really matter if it's just Twitch, because if they're spread across multiple platforms with, you know, large followings on each, then they are that much, even if Twitch is not that big.
Oh, I see what you mean. So it's not even about Twitch's aspect. It's about just that persona in general.
Influencer.
Which is essentially what a celebrity is a persona.
That's true. They're basically ascending into full celebrity status at that point.
I guess let's talk about I'm sorry, I'm like taking your point and scraping it over bread, like it's butter over bread.
But I like
no, it's a logical follow-up.
But here's an additional follow-up to that, right? Whom is more powerful? A mainstream celebrity who's in movies and television, or a Twitch streamer, like an internet persona?
I think it depends entirely on the product.
Well, right, but let's not get, you know, buckled down in specificity. Let's just talk generality, right? Who do we think is more powerful at this time? I would say mainstream celebrities in movies and television are more powerful, but I don't think they're going to stay that way. In fact, I think that they are a part of old media, and old media, even though it will be resistant to change, is inevitably going to be replaced by what internet can do. Like, just think about it. Everybody has a phone in their pocket, instant access to the internet. Why would you need to go and sit in front of your TV to watch anything anymore? You don't have to.
Or a movie theater or
anything. Movie theater, yeah. Like, you don't need to do any of that stuff. In fact, the only reason, in my opinion, that movie theaters still exist is because the movie-making companies are able to hold on and force people to go there by releasing it there. If one of the major movie makers, like, just made a streaming service, and I know they've probably already done this, but I mean, like, one of the really big ones, and just released new releases of movies and not put them in theaters and put them on that streaming service, they would fucking obliterate their competition. Like,
why do you think no one's tried it?
The thing that Snake was talking about, resistance. Like, investors don't believe in it because they don't understand it or some shit.
I still think it comes up on a varied spectrum, though, because I mean, Netflix makes its own movies now, and some of them are pretty good, and some of them are fucking. Ugh.
Disney did it.
Oh God.
Yeah, but what was their flagship movie? Was it Mulan? Because if I recall, Mulan was not a very good movie. But man,
Trolls.
Like, imagine if Avatar 2. Like, imagine if imagine if Avengers Endgame, right, released to internet without releasing to movie theaters. That would have changed. That would have just changed
the bandwidth
everything
used on that day. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like like what we're just talking about is the slow death, and like old media is not able to keep up. Like, it's not feasible to me for them to be able to produce the amount of content as quickly, as accessible, and the only way they can do that is by becoming new media too. Like, that's why on YouTube, that's why like Jimmy Kimmel has a YouTube channel, you know, and stuff
absolutely.
like that. Like, that's why, because they have to, because they'll die if they don't.
It's funny when you think about it. Like, what makes George Clooney? Because he's been in lots of media that a lot of people have seen over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Because he
which
was
is
the
just
best
literally
Batman.
what a streamer is at the highest level. It eventually is, it gets the kind of the same thing. Now streamers are not exactly as globally known as someone like George Clooney because movies are not Twitch is not as global, but I think that is the road that it's going to head towards.
I would expect that to be the road, but I think we're a ways away.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think it's still going to take time, but I would think that the amount of power that internet personas wield now is probably to the level that nobody thought was going to actually happen. Like,
Yeah, it was a joke. Even a decade ago, it was a joke.
yeah, it was like, oh, you're an internet celebrity? LOL, fucking idiot. Like 10 years ago. Now it's like, you're an internet celebrity? Wow, yeah. And look, not that I want to like brag or anything, but my life has changed significantly in the past 3 months. Like, it's even the smallest fraction of that level of I mean, fame and equity can change your entire aspect. Like, I'm still reeling from it. Like, I'm dazed from it, man. It is ridiculous to me. Like, and it's just I don't know, man. Like, it's an overwhelming like sense to be in, and just to see where everybody's going. Like I'm looking at my Twitch ranks, right? Like my Twitch follows right now. You've got people with 14,000 people watching them, 20,000 people watching them. Now those viewers may not seem like a lot compared to like TV shows when they run, but what they don't calculate in is that those streamers will run for fucking 12 hours, right? Like 12 hours, 10 hours, stuff like that. Where a TV show will go like fucking 30 minutes to an hour, right? And if a TV show gets 1 million viewers for 30 minutes to an hour, and then you compare that to fucking 12 hours across the board, like, it's going to start catching up.
Oh yeah, easily. I would say most of the popular streamers get more viewer hours per day than like most TV shows.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we're neglecting the way like traditional media works. Because like, sure, you have a TV, it'll air on television, and then you have the merchandise for it, like the box set, the people have to. There's more money being pumped into it constantly, even after it airs the first time. The Twitch streams, they're kind of a one and done thing, even with VODs. But like, VODs,
I mean, there's
exist,
VODs,
sure,
there's
but-
summing, there's subscription. Like, there's still stuff that is
No,
like
don't
the
get me wrong.
equivalent.
Yeah, I get you on that. It's just, to answer Scott's original question was, do we think it's a good thing? I think it is a good thing.
I think it is a good thing.
I think it's better
progress.
than what we had. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically shifting it between companies filtering their stuff through other companies that filter it through people, but instead now of them filtering it through other companies, they're filtering it just through individual people, so it's more personal. Which I
Yeah.
guess is a good thing.
Yeah.
But the interesting, I guess, I'll just be devil's advocate, because it's being filtered through one person, they could actually skew things quite a bit. And this is like, if someone is not paid to play something, they will just give their very honest opinion of it. And if an influencer is, as influential as the top influencers, they can just single-handedly destroy a game, even if it's good, because they just didn't give it enough time or something like that. And that kind of scares me a little bit.
So well, I mean, that sounds like an argument for incompetence.
Are you telling me Elo Hell could have been a good game with enough time and money?
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying it's a little scary that they have so much power because, even I have like the first time I played Dark Souls, I played it for an hour. I was like, this game fucking sucks. And then I
That's
just stopped
true.
playing it. And then, like several months later, I was like, this is the greatest game ever made. And, you could have, a giant streamer have that same shitty first experience, even though the game is good. Everyone goes, wow, this game sucks. LOL, lol, in chat. They move on, and then that game loses a potential like hundreds of thousands of people that watch, the stream and the VOD and stuff like that. So that's a little scary.
I can't help but feel that by that token, that's an argument of taste and also of incompetence, right? Because if a streamer doesn't give a game long enough to get going, if it's a slower game, then that's an incompetent use of their time. And if their taste isn't for it, then they're not going to like that game anyway.
The
right?
problem is the masses are also incompetent to some
Well,
extent. so
yeah,
they might-
I agree. But see, the thing is, just as many of the people that you kind of argue there that would do that, there's also people that would love the game because of their taste and they did give it the time. So I don't know, man. I think maybe call this optimistic, but I think our peers are, generally speaking, have enough of a love for video games to the point that they will give an actual, like, full effort review of the game that they're playing as they're playing it, you know? Because that's what a streamer is, you know? That's what they do.
I
I
am
don't know
not
if I
as
agree with that.
convinced, and it like the first thing that comes to mind is something like Resident Evil. The last 3 games in the series have been incredibly divisive for the community. Hell, even RE4 was incredibly divisive, and if someone who likes, say, the original 3 or even 3 plus Code Veronica get their hands on, say, RE6 and they shit all over it because it's different, the year like that, there's more to it than just being competent. Taste is a factor, and it's a big one. And wielding that much power and factoring in taste and competence on such a wide scale, I think, is where the terror comes in.
I suppose that's true. There's also the threat of bandwagoning as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
But
mean,
then
that's...
again, there's also a great good, because look at how well Among Us has done. Like,
Oh yeah, no, it definitely has
Like,
the
so-
positive effect too.
I mean, I think with that kind of power, there is a responsibility, right? And your question ultimately hinges on one fact, I think, and that is: do we think that a corporation, right, an advertisement company, is going to be more responsible with that power than an individual streamer?
See, it's not necessarily about responsibility. It's what's the word I'm thinking of when you don't feel strongly one way or the other because you have no opinion of it.
Indifferent?
And yeah, indifferent. Companies are indifferent, and streamers are very, opinionated.
But isn't that the problem, though, with corporations, that they are indifferent because they're detached
Are
from our
they?
world? Well, yeah, I don't even agree with that necessarily, but using his statement of indifference, even if they are indifferent, I think that's more of a problem than having an opinion. And furthermore, I don't think they're indifferent. I think they care about profit, which is why I always hark that a good game has to make money to be a good game, or at least you have to consider its profitability.
See, if I'm trying to find out whether or not a game is good or not, I want them to be indifferent. I don't want them to have personal bias towards something. Like Snake brought up, the RE example. They might have liked the previous games, but the newer ones, and then they'll shut on them, even if it's like a good game. I think actually being indifferent in terms of just a review or like a criticism of the game is actually better.
Well, let me ask you this, right? Let me use my own brand, my own specialty as an example. Obviously, you are all a fan of D&D, right? But
I would say so.
Let me supposit this:
It's alright.
Well,
how many people would ever have played D&D if it wasn't for Critical Role? Or I suppose now I could even say because of me. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's a real force for good in the communities that we represent as streamers, and I personally think that it would be better in the hands of those individuals than in a corporation, because those individuals, if they make a mistake and they fuck up and they have a bad take on a game or something, they are held responsible by their own audiences rather than a corporation, which really is not. They make a bad.
Yeah, but the streamers with the massive followings are not held accountable by their own followers. Their own followers will just agree with whatever they're
don't know
saying because
about
they
that
want to
one,
lull in
man.
chat. Not all of them, but I don't know, man. There are a lot of cheap on Twitch, and it's not like a bad thing. They just really like the streamer and they just want to agree with what they're saying. It's not like an evil or stupid thing. It's just a lot of people are like young and they just agree with whatever the streamer's saying.
I suppose
Question.
that's true. Go ahead.
how exactly are they held accountable? Like, if a streamer shits on a game and they move on to something else, there's not their viewer base isn't gonna go, well, that's a terrible opinion, I'm not gonna watch you anymore. They're just gonna watch the next thing,
That's
or
actually not.
find
That's
someone
actually,
who.
That's actually not
Go
true.
ahead.
That's
Oh?
not true. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Come here, boys. Let me show you
What's
some
up, dude?
shit. Let me show
What
you
you
some
got?
shit. Right. So
Oh my God, is that a body?
no. Let me tell you some stuff. Right. So this is something that I kind of have done. All right. And there's a couple of streamers. Now I'm not gonna name the streamer. Okay. I'm not gonna name them because I'm not gonna do that here. But there are a couple of my stream friends, right, my fellow broadcasters, who I watched play games, and one of them one of them was shitting on this game. Like, and it was Resident Evil, right? He was shitting on this game, right? And then he tried to switch to another game. He lost 30% of his audience.
I mean,
Was
it
he-
happens when you switch games
But
regardless.
then he switched back to Resident Evil and said positive things, gained that 30% back. And he's
Yeah, that's pretty anecdotal.
and he's a variety streamer. So this isn't like, oh, Resident Evil's like his main game or he's off his main game. No, he's a variety streamer.
Okay, that's A, entirely anecdotal, and B, dependent on so many factors. Which Resident Evil was it?
2, the remake.
Yeah, that's why. That's exactly why.
What makes you say that?
Because RE2 is so widely received that if people shit on it, yeah, of course people are going to go, no, thank you. They were watching RE2 because it's RE2. That's where that audience came from. They were there for that game.
People are like, that's anecdotal. All right, well, look, man. Okay, fine.
I think what game you choose to stream matters a lot.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
okay. First of all, yes, some of it has to do with the game you're actually streaming, but your opinion, you are held accountable. Like if you say that a game is good, right?
Okay.
And then you say that a game is bad, people will remember that. And man, I will tell you okay, let me put it to you this way, all right? Let's say you guys are right, okay? And that what you actually say as a streamer doesn't matter. They're just going to watch you for you, right? I will tell you that the pressure, that checking pressure, the shadow in the room of you not sticking with, like, your genuine opinion of something is always there. Because I'll tell you, Twitch chat knows when you're fucking full of it. They'll sniff it out. That's, I guess in my case, thousands of people looking for you to fuck up. Because that is something that they care more about than anything else. Conflict breeds interest. And just look on Reddit to see that. Hell, that's what live stream fails is about, you know? So
Yeah.
that's that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's what holds them accountable.
I would like to clarify something. At no point did I say, at least, that people will simply watch the streamer for the streamer. I just said that they will move on to the next game. That's very different. Like, people who are watching a specific game are there for that game, and they'll probably leave once it switches. But if people have a set audience, and, like, say the person is a variety streamer, some of their audience at least is going to stick around, and they might, if you consider losing viewers for that specific game being held accountable for, like, a terrible opinion, how is that at all comparable to a developer who makes a bad game or has bad practices and is shut on for pretty much the rest of their existence? CEA.
I will say that I think your point is strong, and I do agree with it. But I also think that to supposit that a video game company that makes a bad game that can then always pay for that bad game, that is true. But I also think that if a streamer has a bad take on a game, they also pay for that, because it can become a meme. Like, for example, Nier Automata is a game I've talked about before, right? And that people love that game, right? But I have a generally unpopular take on it because I think it's a garbage fire of a game. And so people will sit there and constantly remind me about that, right? And do I think I've lost people from that? Probably. Was it enough for me to maybe change my opinion on Nier Automata? No, but what I'm saying is that can happen. That if a streamer, especially if they're smaller, this isn't such the case, I guess, for people about my size, but people who have like 100, if 10 people leave because your opinion is wrong, that's 10% of your viewership. That's something to take seriously. And I know, because when I was that small and when I had the people that I was running with at that time, they did that shit to get their viewers back.
See, you said opinion is wrong, though. I'm talking about games that are new and there's no established opinion of it yet, and the opinions are being formed from the streamer.
First of all, there's already an opinion formed. That's number one. Second, that's precisely when this happens, Because if you're a mid-sized or small streamer, you want to play the new game because it's the highest chance of you getting any discovery on a platform that has terrible discovery, right? That's your highest point maybe of it happening. And you do it with clickbait titles, you do it with like, you know, hopefully
I'm taking notes.
somebody No, I'm telling you that's what it is, right?
I'm
And
taking notes.
and from that, if you're talking about a game that everybody likes, but that you don't, but you want to be genuine and you lose people from that, that is a real thing. And furthermore, to your point of like, that's the bad and good thing, those big streamers still are held accountable. It's just not as much. But if they say, I don't like this, those people will leave and find somebody that does, or somebody has a different opinion, or even a different play style, for God's sakes. And then that shit will trickle down a little bit. Not much, but it will do so. Now, is that enough for them to to be equivalent to the level of like monitoring that a corporation would need? No, I don't think so. But I don't think it's something to be ignored at all.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, but I basically think in the end, it's because it's going to be very opinionated. It'll have more positive effects and more negative effects. More basically extremes on either end.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which can be good and bad.
Yeah. And I guess the biggest reason why I think it's a good thing is because we will get bad that we didn't ask for and good we didn't expect. The streamers will do so through a purer filter than the ones that a corporation will get. Because like you said yourself, a corporation is more indifferent than anything else because all they care about is profit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
let me just be honest with you. I don't think any investor is going to put money in Among Us before this happened. Probably not going to happen. No, of course.
And that game was 2 years before
2 years.
it got touched.
It's existed for 2 years. Nobody gave a fuck about it, right? Streamers started playing it. Boom. That art is now plastered for everyone to see. There's memes, media. They canceled their second game because they just wanted to stick with that one. All that good shit, right?
Yep. Now they're making a content patch.
Yeah. So there's your evidence right there of the difference, I think. Woo!
That should be the game development strategy. Just shotgun blast a bunch of shitty games, and wait, if one gets picked up
Picked up
that's
by a
when-
streamer, that's it. Yeah.
that's when you give the attention.
Yeah,
it
oh
needs.
Set
my
out
God.
10 games
Whoa,
a week,
whoa,
dude.
don't reveal
Oh,
the
yeah.
strategy. We're gonna have to deal with a lot of
Oh,
shitty
fuck.
games. No, what have you done, Russ? Now we're gonna get like 6 bad games, and then one's like, oh, this is pretty nice.
God, did you guys
Everything you
ever-
got into it.
Do you remember when Steam Greenlight was a thing?
Yeah, $100 to
Oh my
get your game
God.
up there, dude. Bam.
Speaking of shotgunning shitty games, oh my god.
Oof. It
That
makes
was
me think
rough.
of when Jim Sterling was reviewing a game that
Oh,
was
yeah.
pretty much an asset flip, and he got reamed for it. That's wild.
Fuck. But anyway, man, that was a
That's
hell
about
of a
it.
topic.
Good shit.
Holy shit, that was good. That was good. All right, boys. It
I'm
looks
strapping.
like it falls
I'm
to
buckled
me.
in.
Bring it home.
Okay. Here's the big one. So, Microsoft is going to acquire Bethesda.
yes.
Now,
ZeniMax.
which is ZeniMax Media, but within that is Bethesda. And here is the man. Here,
Please don't say it. I'm half chub. Come on,
God,
dude.
like,
You're gonna say
So-
the magic words?
so that means that we have Obsidian and we have Elder Scrolls and Fallout under the same fucking team banner.
I guess Dishonored would be under there
And
too,
Dishonored
right?
as well.
Oh yeah,
so,
Dishonored, yeah.
So I just want to just talk about like what are the possibilities that can come out of this, and do we think this is going to make? Okay, my main thing I want to talk about is Elder Scrolls 6 because I want to see if with this acquirement, maybe with some team changes, do we think that we're going to get really good games out of this? Maybe Bethesda will get their shit together because of this, and on top of that, will Elder Scrolls 6 be any fucking good?
I think
hope
there's
so.
also what is
I
it?
hope so too.
Well,
What's the-
I guess I'll start by saying I think that we will get good games out of it because Obsidian is a fine company and now they have kind of like a powerhouse to work with. But I really just want to talk about Elder Scrolls 6. So let's talk about specifically like, do we think good games are going to come out of this? And then we'll talk about Elder Scrolls 6 because I'm going to go off on Elder Scrolls. So go ahead. What do you guys think?
I just think if Obsidian makes another Fallout game, I'll be so happy. That's all I want.
Clap!
Yeah.
I'm clapping.
All I want, dude. Oh god, New Vegas. I literally have like 1,500 hours in New Vegas just from modding that. Oh, it's so good. But I just hate that they only got like I think what was it? They only got like a year to work on that game, so they like barely scratched the
crunched
surface
it.
of what they can do, like of an actual like good Fallout game with a good story that's like not Fallout 4.
Right.
Oh man, I'd be so excited because yeah, Bethesda was starting to kind of fucking kill Fallout. They were just making it like just a shooter with like very little RPG mechanics and
That's-
stuff. But
That's what I hate about Bethesda Fallout is just that it's all shoot and loot. And
Yeah.
I guess with the Obsidian ones and even in like Fallout 1 and 2, a lot of it was a lot of political changes that you can make in the whole game. And I think
oh
that's
yeah,
what
yeah, absolutely,
really
like a lot of
sold it.
world affecting stuff too, which is really good stuff. And you know
Right,
what?
and-
That's like Bethesda in a nutshell, though. They just keep simplifying things more and more. Like compare, like Morrowind to Skyrim.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
the amount of simplicity. Like Skyrim's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of like some of the dumb shit in Morrowind, and like I don't know. I like more complicated things that take more than 7 seconds to learn.
Oh, absolutely.
You're
But is
gonna be
Elder
okay.
Scrolls 6 gonna be good? I don't even know, dude. What's Microsoft been doing lately?
The thing is, at the current rate, though, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be like you leveled up. All of your stats are chosen automatically. All of your, like everything is done automatically. All of your things are smithed automatically.
Hey, you
Go to
remember the
smith.
Dark Brotherhood? Nudge, nudge. We got
I think
those guys
they're
in
just
here.
going to keep simplifying things more and more until it's like barely an RPG, and that's what I'm really worried about for 6.
Okay.
So yeah,
Go ahead, Snake. You haven't spoken yet. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I hope that Microsoft can be the parent over their shoulder for Bethesda specifically that makes them make something that's actually fucking functional and not seemingly like a cash grab. Like Fallout 76 felt like a cash grab.
Oh, it was an
Absolutely.
experiment. Absolutely. It was just
Yeah.
thrown out there.
Yeah. On top of that, they hit a stride with Fallout Shelter. Like that was
That was the
fairly
mobile
well
game, right?
received. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fairly well received. People liked that. And then they tried, what was it, Elder Scrolls Legends? I forget whatever they called
Blades,
it. Yeah,
dude.
Blades. Yeah, that shit
Oh, man.
that they
That
just
reminds-
shat out. Go ahead.
It reminds me of the old like Nokia phones. They had an Oblivion game that was absolute dog shit.
I remember
no.
that. I remember
I
that. Oh my
wasted
God.
my $2.99 on it. I was so
Dude,
mad.
on the Oblivion, like the actual like the hard like physical box, it didn't have like an ad for like the phone.
It did.
I remember that.
And that's the only way I knew about it.
Yeah, same.
Ugh.
God, it was so bad.
Okay.
What
Oh, go ahead.
I hope that for Obsidian specifically, they give them the resources to flourish because they have it in them.
Same.
Okay.
All right,
wanna-
Arcade,
more
and you
com-
can stop doing your death sounds. You're going.
Well, I just want to make sure everybody got their chance to say something because I'm about to just
Do it.
spew
Well-
vomit all over. Oh, what's up, Russ?
If Microsoft can give them exactly that, if they can give them to actually put out actual products instead of their random experiments, I will be on board this. I'm all for it. Now go ahead.
All right.
You have the mic.
All right. This is in 2 parts. There are 2
Chapter
timelines.
1.
There are 2 timelines in which this can operate. Timeline number 1, Microsoft insists and gives them money and bankrolls a new engine for them to use for Elder Scrolls. In that
Test 6.
in that timeline, in that timeline, in that timeline right there, in this timeline, that means that we can have a seriously good Elder Scrolls 6 game. I mean, we're talking genre redefining levels of fucking
I'm just telling you right now, that's not gonna
awesomeness.
happen.
Let me finish the timeline. All right? If that happens in the timeline, now it'll delay the game, but all right, in that timeline, dude, we can have some serious shit. However, because that probably won't happen, the most likely timeline is this. We are going to get Skyrim with a fresher coat of paint in a different place with shittier combat. Even shittier combat. It's going to suck. It's going to be awful. But, and here's the flexing ass of this situation. If Obsidian is involved, we may actually get a good story with good branching paths and good side quests and good characters that are well written and hopefully, dear God, has decent voice acting, or rather, I should say, more than 6 people doing the voice
A
acting.
variety.
Just
oh my god,
please,
dude!
dear God.
I was playing New Vegas earlier today, and Liam O'Brien literally voices like 90% of the people in New Vegas.
They already
It's so-
confirmed a new engine. Give me a fucking link on that, or I'm banning you.
Yeah, they say that every time. They say they have a new engine every time, and then you actually look
Click,
into it, and
clack.
it's just an updated version of their older engine.
Yeah.
It's technically new, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
I mean a different engine, an actual a remade engine, a different one. If it's
Do it in
modified,
Uni
that doesn't
4 or
count.
something.
Yeah, that it doesn't count. Anyway, back to the whole point is like, that's the 2 timelines we live in, right? It's the timeline they actually make a new fucking engine, or maybe even remake the creation engine to actually be good. I don't know, just an actual new one. Yeah, I know, good, bro. I get it, but it's like just an actual engine, man, one that we can actually use to make a good fucking game. Give me that. Or at the very least, I'll get the same shit show as Skyrim, but I'll actually care about it because it'll have storytelling of Obsidian in it, and that's my hope, man. That's my fucking one want. That's my fucking rising sun over the horizon. That's my hopes and dreams for that game, is that the combat's probably going to suck. The character models are going to look weird and they're not going to be updated. I don't care about any of that. I really don't. I just want to have more than 6 voice actors. I want to have a main story I want to complete, and I want side quests to tempt me not to complete it. I want them to be so good that they fight against each other in my mind hole. And I'm like, oh man, do I want to help the wizards, or do I want to continue being the protagonist and go save Snake? You know, that kind of stuff.
But you can do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just say I hate that about Elder Scrolls games. I hate that
That
you
there's
can be
no
everything.
fail conditions.
Yeah, I just hate that you can be everything.
Oh, I
I
do,
do
too.
like it
I do
in
too.
like
And
the
that's-
other Fallouts.
that
That makes me
where it
never
has
want to
been.
replay the games because you just do everything in the first playthrough and you level 8,000 with 8 bajillion
Hold
skills
on,
and everything.
I'm reading a post.
Ooh.
The Elder Scrolls
But on the
6
other
will run in a
hand-
fully next-gen game engine system. All right, you guys go and keep talking. I'm reading this.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and on the other hand, I don't know. I don't like doing multiple playthroughs though, so I can do everything. It's kind of where that weird mix. But if it makes sense for me to fail a quest in like those kind of games, I guess.
Well, it's not even like
acceptable.
fail a quest. I just like, I don't know. I like, you know, the thing that comes makes me keep playing like Fallout New Vegas is because there's so many different builds you can do. Like, you know, you can do one-handed guns, laser weapons, you know, melee. There's like so much shit you can do, and you have to do different. Well, I guess you don't have to do different playthroughs, but you have to basically clear all the content to be high enough level to do everything. But I feel like I don't know. In Skyrim, you can just sort of
Sneaky sniper. That's your only choice, dude. Actually,
dude.
I my only playthrough of Skyrim, I played a punch shieldman, and it actually I punched Anduin to death or whatever his name was.
Eh.
Alduin.
Yeah, I don't know about this post, but anyway, look, those are the 2 timelines we live in. You know, that's the way I look at it. It's either we have that or we have that, and that's pretty much it, man. Because I'll tell you right now, as somebody who's played the living shit out of Skyrim, as most people have, I've modded it to death. I've put in the hours. I can tell you this. Skyrim was a good game
What happened
in
to it?
2011 or
Yeah.
whenever the fuck it
Yeah.
came out. It is
Just
no
keep buying
longer
it.
a good game. And it isn't because it's outdated. Like, dude, there is only so much you can do with the wagon wheel before you gotta get the motorcycle. Just fucking do it, dude. So that's really the way it is. Like, there's only so much power that you can get out of squeezing that lemon, polishing that turd. There's only so much you can do. And honestly, that's just really the way that it is. Just give me that. And look, obviously, Skyrim is a game that sells well. They've resold the damn thing 4 times. You know the game is good enough to do that, but just give me a new engine. Like, Skyrim is a game that is so good in 2011 that it remains relevant in 2020. You know what I mean? That's how good of a game it was in 2011.
I don't know why they're so scared of making decent combat.
I don't know, dude. Like,
It's just
Give
every
me
Elder
Morrowind
Scrolls
dice
game is
rolls.
just
Come on.
it's just fucking hitting the guy till they die. That's it. That's the depth of the combat. It's just
Do we know how many people from, I guess, their older, say, Morrowind team are still present in Bethesda?
I don't know.
I don't
man.
know. I know. At least I think I heard a while.
Didn't the president or whatever leave, or something like
Yeah,
that?
I think so.
Yeah.
A lot of Obsidian guys left
Mod
too. Now that I
powered?
think about it, like Chris Avallone actually doesn't work for Obsidian anymore, right? And he was like the head writer for like New Vegas and all the other like actually really good games. So
Shit, I can't remember.
that's actually
Harm's
concerning.
saying that it's the same peeps. These are pretty dependable source, so looks like there's still some same people around. But I don't know, man. It's been the same people. That's why everyone thinks the engine sucks, because the people working on it don't do much. Okay, well, Harm would be more of an expert on this than I am, because he's done a fuck ton of Skyrim and stuff. He's the guy
Modding.
that taught me to mod it. Yeah, like, and that's
Nice.
another thing, dude. Like, the mods,
That's what I was-
the mods in Skyrim have proven what you need to make a good game, because they fucking did it. They remade Skyrim. And by the way, people are going, Skyrim's a good game. No. Not the mods. You don't get to count the mods, because that isn't Bethesda. That's the fucking awesome people of the Nexus mod community. No. Fuck that. Actual Skyrim in 2011 was a good game. Not what it is now, which is a tool for modders. You see what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's how we base it. You know?
I mean, I would actually say that Morrowind and Oblivion are still they're great games as long as you have mods.
yeah.
I think vanilla is pretty fucking rough though.
Yeah, you don't get to count the mods, which are not Bethesda's work, but the work of other spirited people to make a game that they loved in 2011 playable again. You don't get to count that. That's why they were able to resell it.
Any game that anyone tells me that I need to play with a caveat of after you install this community bug fix or like,
Yeah.
it's like, no, thank you.
Yeah. The game should be good on its own, but that's, man, it goes into a whole other thing, but this is the thing, man. Elder Scrolls 6, I think, has the potential to redefine the entirety of the RPG spectrum right now, because right now RPGs are kind of, I feel like they're on the downswing, if I'm completely honest. Like, and I mean
think a lot of people are
traditional
going for
single
the-
player like RPGs.
I think absolutely,
yeah,
for sure.
they're on the downswing, because, man, like,
Divinity 2 is probably that's still multiplayer.
yeah, I meant
But
like,
I mean still
I mean a traditional single player game. Now, I would count Baldur's Gate 3 as being in the camp of what I'm talking about, but that's only one game, man. Like, there's so many RPGs that are made in the traditional sense that don't really get to the light. Like, the most popular games on Twitch, how many times do you see an RPG up there? How many times? Like, I would love to see the sales records in that. Now, granted, this is anecdotal, but if you come to a podcast and expect more than just anecdotal stuff, I mean, you're being kind of unrealistic. But the point is it's like, I feel like that they're on the downswing. I really do. Like, video game single player RPGs. And this is coming from a guy who literally runs RPGs, but not a single player one. Anyway, go ahead.
There was a pop for one that happened like a couple of months back. I can't remember its name. Was it Outer Worlds? Was that an RPG, or am I thinking
That
wrong
was
game?
Obsidian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was why.
Like I said, it was just a pop, and then it was.
Well, yeah, because it was short.
Yeah,
That's probably.
I actually didn't find it that great too. I was actually disappointed by that game.
and then it's like anything before that. If you want to call it an RPG, I think Borderlands maybe had like a pretty decent pop as well, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're definitely. I really just feel like they're on the downswing. Like, go ahead.
To say that they're on the downswing, I think, is unfair to the way the genre functions on Twitch. And by that, I mean, you'll have like single player RPG, narrative based single player games, not just RPGs. Like, they will be the hot thing when they come out, and people will experience the story on Twitch, like either as a content creator or as a viewer, and then people will move on because they've experienced it. So like, they come out pretty regularly, but they don't have staying power.
Yeah, all the most popular games are multiplayer.
But I didn't mean it like that. I meant purely, what I meant by downswing, because we talked about this, about multiplayer versus single player in like the first podcast, which is great, by the way, go watch it. Anyway, I don't mean like how long they stay on Twitch, because I know they don't have staying power. My point is that in terms of them being made AAA style, AA, all that, how many of them are being made and how many of them will come to prominence, I feel like I feel like the amount of like the ebb and flow of game creation is moving away from making
that's
single player
fair.
RPGs. That's what I'm talking about by downswing. So
I think that's fair.
and I think that Elder Scrolls 6 has the opportunity to pop that shit back in our direction. That, oh shit, it's worth making that again. Hell, they're remaking Demon Souls, so there is some fire there, but you know, nobody's making new IPs, you know? There's very little new IPs being made.
You say
New,
that.
new gambles being made.
And now I must remind you, Sir Arcadum, about
say it.
Starfield.
Oh my god.
I want to see Bethesda in a sci-fi like RPG. I think that would be fucking dope.
You know
But,
what?
Of course,
I'll
I'm
believe it
biased.
when I see it.
But I mean, if it's like Mass Effect, I'm not gonna be happy. But I mean,
Why?
if it's like Skyrim in space, and I'm a spaceman, I don't know. That sounds pretty sweet to me.
I think it's going to depend on the gunplay.
That's true too.
Yeah, because the gunplay
I
is
will
like
say-
Mass Effect, like you're shooting little pellets and it's like big, big. It's not
I do trust their gunplay after Fallout 4. That was the only like good part about that game. I think the guns all felt actually pretty nice to shoot.
yeah.
So maybe they could do it.
Okay. Chat keeps saying Cyberpunk. Small tangent. I think Cyberpunk's going to disappoint everybody. All right. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the doomslayer.
Overhyped.
Or not only is it overhyped, but what we've actually seen of the game is not that impressive. It's really not. Like, look at the fist fight scene. Like, that shit was awful.
It reminded me of Skyrim.
Yeah, it was so bad, right? And they're saying, oh, they're going to change that. I'm like, okay, if they were going to change that, why the fuck did you show us that? Like,
Man, real talk. I've not seen the trailer at all. I've only seen the Keanu meme.
yeah, that did so much damage to it, to my opinion, like to my excitement for it. And like, and if you look at the driving, like it has this, like there's parts of the city that are completely ignored. Hopefully they'll fill that in. I do like the little things. I do like, but you actually watch the combat, and you actually watch the actions and the character animations, and then you watch that awful fist fight scene, and you're like, man, like this looks kind of shitty. You know, it doesn't look fun to play. So, hell, and they spent, what was it? Their latest spot was to show us the ability to look through somebody's memories, and it had all this extra shit like to pause, play, change filters on an aspect that's cool, but it's going to get like, I don't know, like a fraction of a percentage of playtime, right? And you're spending all those resources on it when I have this shitty Skyrim punching? Dude. You need to
Is it
reallocate
that
your
bad?
resources.
I think it's a little unfair because I think it's going to be primarily a shooting game, right?
Well, no. No. There's a whole melee tech tree.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's
Oh.
Cyberpunk. That's part of it. Like, you can be a melee character. Like, there's this whole thing about that. So, yeah, the melee combat better feel pretty good.
Oh.
And hell, if you look at the actual ranged combat, it's not that much better. The gun sounds are kind of underwhelming, and there's not really a lot of weight. And maybe it was because just the scenes they chose were badly placed, sure. But in my opinion, that like, you can only give so much forgiveness for that, because I assume that the people at the game company are not so incompetent as to choose not the best scenes from the game to showcase their own game. And if that's the best they've got, Jesus Christ, man. You see what I mean? Like,
I feel like it's going to be a game like The Witcher 3, which I respect the hell out of, but didn't really enjoy.
I think so too.
But I don't know. We're just
Sounds
talking
like
out our ass
Arcanum
here.
just hates first-person combat. You must be new here. I have no problem with first-person combat. I just don't like shitty first-person combat. Like, look, Witcher 3, for as much hate as I give it, was a good game. It was solid, right? It was a good adventure, you know, but it wasn't like genre defining. It wasn't fucking the best. It wasn't Game of the Year, that's for damn sure. You know what Game of the Year was? Fucking God of War. Jesus Christ, that game was sick.
When did Witcher 3 come out?
Wasn't that a different year?
Yeah.
No, it was. I'm saying who got Game of the Year, or who should have gotten Game of the Year is what I meant. My opinion on that. I think Witcher 3 actually did get Game of the Year, didn't it? Or was it something else? I can't remember. But I just know that it's like, look, dude, I think God of War deserved Game of the Year. I think Witcher 3 didn't. I think the reason Witcher 3 got Game of the Year is because, what year did that come out? Before I put my foot in my mouth.
Oh man.
It was like
7?
2015.
2015?
Years.
It's that old?
Jesus
Yeah, it's
Christ,
pretty old.
really? Witcher 3 was
I was
5
gonna
years
say,
ago?
God, why did I
years.
feel like it was like 2 years ago? What the fuck?
Nah.
Yeah, May 18th, 2015.
Like I will still say I didn't really. I've tried beating The Witcher so many times, and I always get to the same point and just get bored and stop.
Here's my fucking thing, right? All right, now I'm gonna get mad, right? The Witcher 3 won Game of the Year over fucking Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Bloodborne, and Super Mario Maker.
I could see Bloodborne being upset, but I don't think MGS5 or the other were actually better games.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like that makes me mad because I don't think Witcher 3 was that good. Like it really wasn't, you know? And then Bloodborne obviously is going to be taste driven, I think. Fallout 4 was good from what I remembered. Maybe not as good as Witcher 3, sure. Metal Gear Solid 5, though, I thought was incredibly popular, especially amongst its own fans. And surely...
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
MGS people hated MGS5.
MGS5
No,
is
David,
considered-
no peace.
Yeah,
Really?
it's considered.
It's probably the weakest MGS game out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
a very divisive entry in the series.
But it's really good, though.
Well, I guess that explains what I know about Metal Gear Solid. Fuck.
Yeah, if that's your only experience with MGS.
That is
it's-
literally the only game I've ever played in
yeah,
the series.
yeah, then
so,
that's.
yeah,
yeah,
maybe I'm a little ignorant here, but I'm just
Okay,
saying.
it's literally an incomplete game. Like it's not even fair to Kojima because they didn't have time to finish it. But
Newsflash, Arcanum's hot take wrong again.
wow, your opinion's wrong, bro.
Bro, I will sit here and explain to you one day. I'll make a whole stream and I'll explain to you why Metal Gear Solid, sorry about that. The Witcher 3 is a terrible game. I will walk you through it. Hold your hand and put your dog face in the fucking piss on the carpet.
See,
He's done it.
I don't know.
I've
Like
seen
I feel like I could not agree that it's a bad game. I didn't like it. I didn't have fun whatsoever. But I still have so much respect for that game. I think so much went into it that it's kind of hard to ignore that.
I'm just fucking with chat, dude. I don't think it's that bad of a game. My problem is that
It's not near levels.
No. Let me
God,
let me give
don't
you
even.
let me give you my non-trolly opinion. All right. Do I think Witcher 3 deserved Game of the Year? Not over Bloodborne. Absolutely not.
I disagree.
I
love Bloodborne.
Agree to disagree on that because I think that Bloodborne was not only probably the best Souls-esque game, but it was also a new IP. It was a huge gamble. It was awesome. But
I agree. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, as a new IP, it should have been given that recognition for how much of a gamble that was, since The Witcher is a continuation of two other successful games. But whatever, game awards are going to be opinionated. All awards are really, But anyway, the point is that, but I do think it's a good game, and it definitely deserved its nomination. I just think that Geralt is the worst written character ever, and I hate him. But that's really the only difference. Whereas, when did God of War come out?
2018.
Was
Hold
that
on.
2018? God of
No way. It's got to be longer than that.
Release date was
Oh, shit.
2018 in April.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Huh. Feels like it was longer. All I can say about Witchers, I played the first one. That one sucked dicks and it ruined the taste of it for me forever. And so I just never
That was
played it.
some
And I can't
jank ass
relate.
gameplay. Holy shit.
And I can't relate to sexy witch man. He's not. I'm not him. So I just not. It just doesn't. Not for me.
Yeah, as someone who has not played through to completion any of the Witcher games, I understand completely why it won out over Bloodborne.
That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
Like I still have a lot of respect for that game, even though I didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't respect the game. I just don't like Geralt, dude. And I also think Witcher's just crazy overhyped. But look, whatever. Look, my whole point. We're getting off topic, I guess. My whole point is that I want Elder Scrolls 6 to redefine RPGs because I think it can. Because man, and I'm not just saying this as a fan of Nern and fan of everything that they've made, but I mean, God,
I think
chat's gonna be so against me saying this, but I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 is the Western version of Final Fantasy in terms of, and not in terms of continuation, but in terms of that's the quintessential RPG for that area of the world. Like I really feel like Elder Scrolls is like
I can agree with
your
that.
Western RPG, and Final Fantasy is your Japanese RPG, in terms of that stylistic play. And I just feel like, man, we need a fucking win because Final Fantasy 15 for all of its faults, was pretty good for a boy band simulator. You know, it was not bad. You know, not the best.
I need to
but
play it.
It wasn't awful.
I enjoyed my time playing the
Yeah,
game, even
I
though
liked
it was incomplete.
They were handsome. You know, whatever. And
I-
yeah, go ahead.
FF15 is a game that I enjoyed playing, but saw the potential and
Yeah, that breaks
could
my
see
heart,
the
dude.
seams. Yeah, it was soul crushing to get through it because I could see what could have been.
Yeah.
I agree
I
with
heard
that.
I heard that a lot. I enjoyed it, but then again, you know, oh, man, I don't know. I could fight all day on Final Fantasy, but how about the remake? You know, remake was still great. You know, all things considered, it was fuck it, man. I just want a good RPG game, like, because my favorite
Yeah.
one ever was Lost
At
Odyssey.
the end of the day, that's all I want too.
yeah, that's all.
Just a good RPG
like a
that
good
gets
one.
me immersed,
Yeah.
makes me feel like I'm in the world, and everyone treats me like a nobody. I'm tired of that Bethesda shit where I am the leader of some fucking
Yeah.
Oracle.
Let's
blah blah
talk
blah.
about that.
And Morrowind is perfect. You go around, nobody knows who the fuck you are. You're just some
Nobody cares about you. Who are you?
Nobody
Fuck
gives
off.
a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But the one time you fucking close up an Oblivion gate, the hero of Kvatch. Oh, I've heard of you, a hero of Kvatch. And then Skyrim, you're the Dragonborn, and within like the first like hour of the game, and everyone calls you Dragonborn. But yeah, Morrowind just did it best, where you're just some fucking prisoner off from Seyda who gives a shit. Who are you? I don't care. Give me some money.
Like, dude, that's really what I want, man. I just, to me, that is just what I really want to have happen, man. Because I'm gonna tell you guys, and I guess this is kind of like a tangential to it, but all I do is write stories and then have other people experience them with me and watch what they like. And I'm gonna tell you, all it takes to get people to like your story is you just give them NPCs that they care about. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all you need. You know, you give them, and that takes voice acting and that takes good writing. And it takes a lot of it because you need interactability. You need real dialogue options. You give that to a player, they can care about an NPC. They can. They will.
They do.
For one dialogue, you can feed this NPC for 3 years.
Yeah. And that's
Guy keeps asking me for purified water. I've given him 50 bottles.
and that's just kind of the way that I really just want to see, man. And I think Obsidian can make it happen. Like, I really do.
You know what I want to see from Obsidian?
What's that, Snake?
KOTOR.
Oh my
Ooh,
god,
A
dude.
good single player KOTOR, please.
Ooh, my
KOTOR is
man.
good.
Oh, Snake is my boy right now, dude. Oh, God.
Let me reimagine or re-experience a whole like
Dude.
coming of age story and becoming a Jedi.
Oh, dude, imagine. No. Like, we don't even need
No?
Jedi. No, we don't even need Jedi. That's been told 100 times. Give me like a bounty hunter story where you're like a little boy
Like
or
a
girl.
Mandalorian?
Yeah, especially with the show popping off. Like a
They
girl.
were
You know. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just taking it and running.
there was a bounty hunter game that was scrapped. It was gonna be that, or basically that. I forget what it was called. 1313. Thank you. Yeah, that sad day on that. Also, the EA license rights are on their way out. I forget how many years they have left, but it's gonna be up soon. So they're squeezing it for all they've got.
Man, I really, really fucking want that, dude. Like, give me a. Sorry.
Bless you.
What was the latest Jedi game? The one that was really cool. You guys
Fallen
run around.
Order.
Fallen Order, yeah. Give me a
Yeah, that was good.
Give me a Fallen Order level of technicality and like graphics, but give me like the KOTOR style role playing, and you just tighten up the bolts. You just polish the things that need polishing. You give me some solid voice actors, and you make it like not Jedi based to where you are a Jedi. No, I don't have to be a Jedi. You can make me a bounty hunter, make it like Fallout-esque kind of in terms of how you like, can design weapons and like your customizability, whatever. And then just let me play like that, and that'll be a fucking bitchin' experience.
God, I know people are gonna want it, but please no Baba Yaga. I'm done with that meme.
See, Star Wars is in an interesting place right now because they are rolling out this new initiative after with the new trilogy coming to a close, they're rolling out a new initiative that they're deeming the High Republic, and it's going to be more Jedi focused than probably anything we've seen so far. And that is, as far as games go, it's going to be a weird time.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much all I had to say. Anybody else have anything?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's fucking sick, guys. Good job. Man, we had some efficient topics today.
We did.
All right.
It's almost like tragic when that happens because, like, all right, we're gonna talk about this. Yeah, I agree. All right.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
mean,
then.
sometimes
See you
it
later.
just be like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I mean, eventually we're gonna add more stuff. You know, we're gonna add like guests, and we'll have a meteor thing. But I think this went pretty well. I think.
Yeah, I think we should try perhaps. Well, that's the thing. We're all kind of similar. We have similar mindsets on a lot of things, so it's really hard to find something that we kind of disagree about. But I'm gonna try thinking about something like that because that's when it gets spicy.
Time to split the
Oh
room.
man, dude, I love fucking dueling with Snake, dude. Fuck. Oh my god, I could do it forever. Let's see. But how about some fan art? Do we have any fan art? I know Snake sent me one.
Sure
Do it
did.
myself.
You did that?
No, I did not.
Oh, I was gonna say, holy shit, that's
He made
awesome.
this.
He made this. Smile.
Serene Lily is responsible for that.
Serene Lily. All right, hold on. Let me get the fan art all open and ready to go here. Oh my god, I love that first one. That first one is sick. Let's see. Night Council episode 3. All right, here we go. Let's do some fan art. I love this one, dude.
Dude, I love my cheekbones. You can cut a man's throat. Holy shit.
You look like Flame Wrath.
I do. I look like fucking Soda's game.
Ew, you poor. Ew.
Oh, yes. Fear not to myself. Why do you have a pacifier?
Because she
Goo
hates
goo
me.
gaga.
Because she
Baby snake.
Dink donk. My ears are happy. The rocks.
I'm telling you,
Spring,
ACDC, look it
summer,
up.
autumn, speed.
Yeah, I don't know how that went to there.
Ken, but what is
That's
your
a good
opinion on cold
thumbnail.
weather? Oh, I love it. Sometimes it goes down to 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, let's make a spear.
I don't understand how you're not frozen all the time and anything less than that.
Is
No,
that
I
a
pretty much am.
body? It has been 0 days since Arcanum shat on Nier Automata. Oh no, go ahead. Give me the link or I'm banning you.
My God, your eyes get more and more violet empowered every progression.
Oh, you're not gonna like this one. My hot takes inhale. Boy!
Oh my God.
Oh, fan arts, my lord. Well done. Yes, very good.
Yes, very good.
All right,
Yes, very good.
that's it. That's all we had. That's pretty good. Good times. And remember, guys, if you
Thank
want
you,
to
artists.
support the Night Council, you can do so by just subbing during the stream and all that good stuff, or you can join the Patreon and sign up to be a Night Watchman, which those tiered of
Those patriots.
those patriots, yeah, those patrons will go directly to us, like as in the Night Council, all as one. So, thank you guys so much for all of your support. Thank you for watching and listening and all that good stuff.
Thanks for hanging out.
Once
Thanks for
more,
hanging
want to go ahead and thank the boys for showing up, and please go follow and support their channels as well. Scott Jund, Russ_money, and Snake. Please go to their channels, check them out, support them. They are awesome.
Dab.
You're awesome.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you guys Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do it.
yes.
Ooh.
Ooh, this is normally where I would play an outro, but instead I'll just awkwardly end the stream.
Oh.
Oh, my.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.